Alright, folks, if you've been here before, welcome back. If this is your first time, I'm John. Today, I've got a couple vintage collection figures to open up. I said I would yesterday. Yesterday, we opened up these two, right? Vintage collection, Mandalorian and Grogu. So today we have vintage collection Ahsoka Tano. Oh, let me turn that so it's not in that light. There we go. And we've got Professor Huyang from the Ahsoka show. Let me get him out of the way here. And let me get me out of the way. It works. Now, personally, I never spent no time watching the cartoons, really. The cartoons didn't really appeal to me, and Ahsoka at first really didn't appeal to me, but I did like how she was used in The Mandalorian to kind of connect things. I'm not a big fan of the idea of Anakin having an apprentice, you know, that the movies just kind of completely ignore or even would imply otherwise, right? We never heard no mention of no apprenticeship, but I won't get into all that right now. But I did like the way the Mandalorian show used her. But on that note, let's readjust here. I really wasn't a big fan of her show. Well, Rebels or the Ahsoka show. I did watch Ahsoka. I didn't watch Rebels much. I watched snippets and maybe a couple episodes, but I definitely didn't follow the show like that. But as a fan of Mandalorian and the Book of Boba Fett and stuff, I definitely felt she's a necessity, right? Especially to finish out some of these scenes that I'm trying to finish out with Grogu, and even where is he? Maybe scenes like training Luke. Oh, no, he's not going to stand, of course. Let me get him to stand. His foot's looking a little crooked. Okay, we got him. That shine. That's a lot of glare. But, there we go. That's not too bad. These crates are in the way. That's alright. But anyways, for scenes like, you know, Mando, Grogu, and Ahsoka, and Luke and Grogu and Ahsoka, stuff like that, I really needed a Ahsoka figure, and I think I waited out so long because I was planning on getting the deluxe version with the little owl thing and the extra cloak and hood or whatever, right? But I've put it off so long that when I saw this one, I was like, yeah, I might as well pick one up, right? I've gone this long without any Ahsoka Tano figure. It's about time I get one, right? But now I will say, I'm real glad adult Ahsoka wears a little more clothes, because that's not very Jedi to run around in no bikini. The Jedis have a very strict kind of dress code. I remember even when I was younger, people were arguing, right? Would the Jedi let Anakin wear so much black leather? Right? But I am a fan of Professor Huyang as a character, as a design, some of the jokes. But overall, as a character, just the idea that he's trained like all the Jedi in lightsaber construction, right? He's been with the Jedi since the very beginning. So you can place him with anybody, right? It's not really out of place. You can have him with a Obi-Wan Kenobi figure, even though they didn't share no scenes. You could have him with a Yoda, right? You know, we didn't see him in none of the live-action movies. You could assume he was in the background there somewhere, right? And so I like that. I like him as a character. I like the little arms for his back. I know there's a lot of complaints about his coloration of his metal not being metallic enough or silver enough. I kind of like it. I don't know that I dislike it like everybody seems to. Well, let's start opening these guys up and make some judgment calls once we crack them open, I guess, right? Where's my knife? Let me get Luke out of the way, too. Come in from the bottom, where it's already open, right? And just try to do as little damage as possible. Separate the card without all the paper or extra paper, right? And actually, I didn't do a great job on this one either. That's alright. See? Right there. That's alright. It happens. Let's get this little clamshell thing out. Set that down. Alright. So she just comes with the two lightsabers. And that's cool. Again, the only thing I really would want beyond that is that cloak. That cloak is nice. I wouldn't mind having that. But eventually, I'm sure I'll pick it up. Right. Put this right back. Now I really like that she's got a long saber and a short saber, right? She's got some very unique sabers. They're even bent like Count Dooku's, right? He's the only other one I know. He's got let's see, there it is. That bent hilt kind of design like that. So that's really neat. Get this other one. Probably do something a little cooler than just a box pose. Let's see. Probably turn this saber around in her hand so it's reverse grip. Put it behind her like this, see? Yeah, that's a cool figure. We'll get it up closer to the camera though here. Oh, it's having trouble. There we go. There we go. Oh, let's get some light on her. The detail's really nice. I like the detail. All the little details on her skirt and belt. A little pattern on the extra hip armor there. Little, oh yeah, right? The little tassels off the tied knot. That's cool. I'm not a big fan of the baggy pants, but I've said it in other videos, they're doing a better job at hiding it and making the articulation work within it. So, I don't want to complain too much about the baggy pants. They've done an alright job articulating it. Right? That looks pretty good. She's fairly posable, right? She doesn't lose a lot of articulation. They've worked around it. That works for me. I like that. And it's very lifelike. And that's something else, right? The vintage collections got me hooked just because they look so realistic and so lifelike. I don't know how often I say it, but that's one of the things that's kept me here as an adult collector, right? The G.I. Joes and Star Wars figures of the 80s and 90s are what I grew up on, but I'm not a retro collector. If they still look like that, I'd be out of this game. It's the realism that's brought me back, right? Especially especially like G.I. Joe really got the ball rolling on some of those realistic molds and what was it, 25th anniversary and stuff, right? Star Wars is real late to the game on articulation and stuff, but they're playing catch up real nice. They definitely, everything's articulated, everything's photorealistic and screen accurate, and so a lot of people, I don't want to defend the man, as it were, necessarily, but I don't mind. I paid $16-17 for each of these. I don't mind that, right? But definitely some of this realism and stuff, some of this super articulation, it costs some money. But again, I definitely don't want to defend the man per se. But again, I'm not mad at $17 for good figures, right? But I mean, I'm looking at that Jango Fett, that deluxe Jango Fett, And I keep struggling with the price on that just because I don't see them as much different than either of these figures. Right? I'll pay the 17, but I don't know that I want to pay 35 or more. Right? Maybe if he came with some stuff. That's alright. We're going to break this one open and forget about prices and stuff. Let's, like I said, hopefully I can get this one a little cleaner than Ahsoka's card. So far, so good. Alright. Well, let's get Huyang out of here. This is the one I was kind of more excited about, just because I want to play with these little robot arms. Let me cut the tape here. I haven't spent any time talking about Huyang here on the channel, really, but I did. I really liked, he was like one of the saving graces of the show. And I do like the lore behind him. Come on, there it comes with like a little data pad. And this little, I don't know if that's a saber parts or a tool. Maybe a scanning tool. Or maybe it kind of looks like lightsaber parts. Here we go. Let's get these arms mounted on his back. Yeah, there we go. Oh, you gotta take these off first or something. Oh, I get it. Okay. Oh, I lost it. Where'd it go? Alright, we're back on track. Here it is. Alright, so those pivot upward, it looks like, and then these. No, I'm mistaken. How does this work? Well, I think I don't know. I think these come out and you can replace them with these then. So these are closed. And then they pop out. Right? And then these plug in their place. Either over or under, I suppose. That seems kind of crookedy. And those don't really come over his shoulder as well as I might have hoped. Let me look at the back here. How's this look on the back? Oh no, they've just got them. Okay. Take a look. They just got them straight. They just got them straight off his back. Alright. Well, let's try that then. So, just straight off his back. And it's not terrible, but it's not as cool as over the shoulder. And I would try under the armpit, but I would assume that's going to go about equally well. Right? That's not really going to go under his arm good. No, it's too narrow. But that's still pretty cool. They're a little more limited than I would hope. But I suppose I just sang their praise about their articulation. Some things aren't going to be as well done as others. You got to cut some corners somewhere. I'm sure it wouldn't have been cheap to articulate every little point on there. But I mean, that's alright. Let's get his little data pad here. Take a look. I guess we'll go antenna up with it. Right. He's got it antenna down in that. Does he? Looks like it. Looks like he's got it antenna down in the picture. So that's the way we'll go. And his little tool and or lightsaber innards. I think it is lightsaber innards. But he has a nice look to him. He's cool. Try and get on. Focus on. Professor Huyang. Yeah, those arms are cool. Let me see. We'll go right back to these ones. The folded up versions. Is that how that works? Or is it that way? Alright, this took me a second to figure out here, but with his back in, or with his backpack plugged in, alright, he's got these little things poking out here, these bracers. I guess they kind of stop his arms or brace the arms, right, so they can only go so far. But so when you're trying to put the closed arms in, it blocks it. So you got to go under it. But then if you try to force it, you got to flex either that little bracer or the backpack post. Right? So it seems best just to pull the whole backpack out and then mount the arms that way, so that you're not overstressing these and just breaking them right off, because that's ultimately what's going to happen after just a couple times forcing them in. But that's what you got to do. I don't know that I love that. I'm glad I figured it out quick though. But you got to put the backpack together first and then put it on, so that it slides in without putting a lot of flex on those bracers. That's alright. That works. I'm glad I figured it out before I broke them or bent them. But I'll give them these little gadgets and gadgets back. I'll stand them up a little bit. Take a good look at them real quick here. I like all the little pouches and packets. Let me stand them back up. Now, there isn't a whole lot of other characters I need from the Ahsoka show. I did like Enoch and his men, so I wouldn't mind picking them up. I think they're out there, right? Or they're coming out if they're not out yet. I did like Enoch, and I like Baylan Skull. So if they make a Baylan Skull, I'll probably pick him up. But I know they haven't made one, and I haven't heard of any announcements on him yet. So, but I don't need all the characters. I don't have a Sabine Wren. I'm no intentions to get one unless they fix that helmet, right? But I'm not paying those deluxe prices for a bucket head with that extra large bucket head. No thanks. And what, a cat? Just a cat? That little tiny cat? You can pay deluxe prices for that? No, I'm not. Not me. 17 bucks for this? Yeah. That's good. I don't know what it is. I like the whole design. The Spartan helmet look to his face. Right? The little doctor's piece on his forehead, like he's got like an eyeglass piece almost. I don't even think that's probably what it is, but it's what it looks like, right? Like a doctor's magnifier or something. Yeah, it's a really cool design. It's a really cool toy. I'm glad I got this one. I'm probably more excited about Huyang, if I hadn't said that already. I like Ahsoka, but not that much. But again, this all ties back into I grew up in the 80s. You know, when they released that show and announced that show, it was just confusing the canon to me. Let's refocus here. Is that too dark? That's too dark. Let's fix this. Like I said, I like the figure. I kind of needed the figure just to fill the gap. Right? I needed an Ahsoka Tano just to have an Ahsoka Tano for any scenes she might be in, right? And she's a very unique character amongst the Jedi and the Force users, maybe I should say, since she's not even really a Jedi, right? She abandoned the Jedi. She left. Well, she didn't. She was kicked out, but she left, right? She was no longer part of that organization. And then that's one of the things I think too, right? The show just pretends like she is a Jedi. And it touches on it. I know it touches on it or whatever, but again, I don't think I want to focus on all that. I didn't love it. That's all. But I did like Huyang. He was very funny. He's very unique and different. That's neat. He's got like very flat outer forearms, and then the rest of his arm is very rounded. He's neat. I'm very happy to have picked up both of these. But like I said, that's probably it for the Ahsoka show figures. Right? And even that deluxe Ahsoka is from the Mando show, right? It's the version from the Mando's show. It's not from the Ahsoka show. trying to think. There might be a couple figures eventually that I'll get from her show. I'm definitely not opposed to it. Like I said, Huyang. If they make a Balin skull, I'll get that. That'll be cool. And even Shin, right? If they make Shin, I'll probably get her. But that Sabine Wren didn't do it for me. I think that's about it, though, right? Where did I stick it? Oh, I'm way back there now. Way back there now. Alright. I think that's gonna wrap it up, though, isn't it? As always, I appreciate you guys coming by, hanging out with me, checking out my new toys. Right? That's a good little haul, too. Right? See all 4 of them together. Because I got all 4 of them together. I was surprised to see them all on the shelf. Usually I don't see anything on a shelf. But, getting back to wrapping this up. Here, let me focus here. As always, I appreciate you guys hanging out with me. If you want to check out my Facebook and my Instagram, links are down in the descriptions. Otherwise, it's Friday. It's the weekend, right? Have a great day. Have a great weekend. Keep playing with them toys, and I'll talk to you again real soon.